home to me. I mean, and that was it. It gets lost in the aesthetic. Because people still somehow they all are wearing football shoulder pads and they look cool. They have one woman is wearing football shoulder pads and she's got a compound bow and she's showing some midriff, and I'm like, fucking A, it's the 80s, she's still got the feathered hair, right? It's like, goddamn, she looks cooler than everyone who goes to school with me. This is awesome. Like, I'm ready for this. Like, let's bring this on. I think there's something cinematically it's hard to get away from that. I think it's hard to get away from that and still have a movie people would want to watch, because the reality of it is so much starker. On a true level, a lot of articles have come out about it. It now is that gasoline breaks down pretty quickly, and you're not going to be riding around your desert dune buggies for very long. It looks like a blast. It looks like it's going to be your fun, right? But that's just not the way it's going to happen. So, and in that movie, you're looking at that, but interestingly enough, in that group of survivors, it goes to what you pointed to. They have this one group that is refining the gas in the desert. Okay, how they managed to do that, that's impressive, but they're in the middle of the Australian outback. They're refining the gas, but they've got for whatever reason, they still have their sense of why. They are banded together. It is a better chance for survival, but they want something better. They hope for something better. It's of course always not where you are. In their case, it's a dream of getting to the coast, right? And that's where they bring in our hero as such, which is Max. But there's a speech that the leader gives to him, which I find still great to this day. And I forget who plays him, but he's just saying, he's saying, "Oh, you lose your family," and he sees that that's what's eating at Max, right? And he says, look around you, right? Show me one person here who didn't lose their family or hasn't lost something like on that, right? You need something more than what you've got. And he's at the time not having it, right? He's just, trying to stand on his own. His why is trying to just be his pain and just holding on to that. So I think that's an interesting mirror that these movies hold up to us, like of how we do that, how we hold on to whatever our sense of purpose is, whatever our sense of why is going to be. And I think that's a very powerful thing, that there's got to be some motivating factor. You hope it is, holding on to that and holding on to your humanity, right? The opposing side in Mad Max has just lost, overall loses their humanity, right? They're just engaging in utter hedonism. They're there to raid and take the gas and rape and kill and pillage and do whatever they need to do. And then they're just going to keep going on. It's just an organism that sort of keeps, feeding upon itself. And by the way, looking fucking amazing. It's just, the Lord humongous. Let's start off with the fact that this dude is apparently eating enough of his own crew that he is keeping utterly ripped, and still somehow has found a huge trove of anabolic steroids in the apocalypse, right? I mean, this dude is fucking jacked, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he embodies this idea of fear and this, that he's overpowering you. He's trying to do the whole Roman thing, standing outside, of just, the Romans used to say, until the ram has touched the wall, right? Which was until we've started our attack, you can get out of this. You can walk away, you can walk away peacefully. And that's his deal. He just stands up there and says, just walk away, right? That's literally the speech. Walk away, just leave it be. It's so profound. It's so well done, right? Of a true warlord who's just saying, once I unleash my minions, there's nothing I can do for you, right? So it's an age-old deal and something that's kept you there. And his number one minion, who has lost his lover at one point and is so angry that he wants to storm in. Who's wearing got this mohawk, right? That is just absolutely not a hair out of place, right? And he has feathers coming off of his leather jacket. It's still, as dark as it all is, it's still amazing that somehow Hollywood made the apocalypse look like just a little bit of fun, right? That you wanted it in that weird way. You wanted to experience it. You wanted to experience it in the way that you want to experience Westworld, right? You wanted to experience it without consequence. right? You want to have a taste of it, but you don't truly want to experience it. You want to be able to go home at the end of the weekend. You want to be able to storm the Capitol, but still get your vacation to Mexico, right? Because that's the way the world works, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
God damn it, I got to be in Puerto Vallarta in 2 weeks. Come on. Yeah. That gives us that sense, as we're there. But, really, as you say, when it boils down to it, are you going to be able to find your sense of why in all of this shit?
Yeah. Well, because part of the reason I didn't include like Mad Max and Escape from New York in my list, because those are more like, I don't know, fantasy to me. It's like, no, you're not building muscle because you're losing bone density. You're not getting any nutrition anywhere. Like, if this is those movies do not hold up to science at all. Like, your life expectancy is like 40 because there's so much.
Well, you're getting cancer at best from the fall.
Right, exactly.
or scurvy. If you're really doing great, you're getting scurvy. Right? That is when that. And that even bugged me in Hunger Games, right? A movie I really did enjoy, but the younger Hemsworth brother is in that, and that dude's pretty jacked. Like, he's not Lord Humongous level jacked, but he's a strong dude. And they're just supposed to be in a part of the empire there, the different districts. They keep all the other districts starving, right? Unless you're in District 1. And he just looks really well built, and like he's getting once again excess calories and excess proteins, and able to work and build himself to that shape that he's in. I'm sort of never sat right with me, but I'm with you. Right. It's in the realm of the fantasy. It gives us that escapism.
And plus, like Mad Max, Dread, Blade Runner, they're also selling an aesthetic.
Yes,
like there's a look to it, like the mega cities in Dread. Like the mega cities have actually they look kind of like the cities in Blade Runner too, but
they're similar.
Yeah, like the mega cities, like they have a look to them. You're selling an aesthetic, and fuck yeah, like the Mad Max. I will go to that party. That's why in the last Mad Max film, they just went a step further. Monster trucks, whatever that thing was that had that guitar player hanging off the front of it with a blowtorch.
It was fucking whatever.
Whatever. Just go with it, dude.
And he was on a bungee cord, right? To answer your question, how doesn't he fall off? It's like, well, he's on a bungee cord. Like,
of course he's on a bungee cord. So it's about that aesthetic as much as it is anything else.
Yes. No, even Furiosa, right? Like her mega, like there's no makeup, but the grime is just so, and the fact she has one arm is like the idea that you're going to build a prosthetic arm out there to drive a truck with like that. Again, you need an advanced society to put together those types of materials, and someone with the knowledge of physiology and just how things work, right? It's a very specific field. And she's got, somehow this perfect prosthetic that can help her drive the truck in the middle of all this, right? So,
and the only reason I mentioned the Matrix is because, I mean, to my knowledge, like it has an aesthetic too that it's trying to sell, and definitely, definitely has a lot of over the top, what could be called fantasy elements. But it is important to think about this idea that the only way we're really going to survive is if somebody else steps in.
Well, is it selling or just setting a setting? Because like you're making a movie, you have to have a consistent visual to follow through. I don't know if it's selling anything more and just
because it's so much everyone is so much the period, like Josh was saying, like that is so,
but you have to pick something and go with it. Like you can't just be random across 120 minutes. No one's gonna follow it. That's the point.
I don't know if that's the case either, because even in the Matrix, like they go from, I don't know, BDSM, goth, latex, whatever, to again, the post-apocalypse, all of the junky robots and all of the clunky aesthetics of the, quote, real world.
And
then you go back to the super stylistic of the other world. And I'm not disagreeing with you totally. That is intentional. But the point is, you're inventing that stylistic look that just would not happen in the apocalypse. It's the apocalypse. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Oh my God.
It's just not gonna happen. But you have it because, like Josh was saying, like this dude's like, he's got a 6-pack and these huge packs. It's like, all right, where did he get a hoard of whey that he's been getting? Like, where the fuck?
Before you go, because I could see the 3 of clubs just itching to jump off. Like he's ready now. He's like,
apocalypse is happening.
Hand me the fucking folding chair. No, I need the fucking crowbar. No, I need the baseball bat. Like
we're going steel cage match, baby. No.
The steel cage is coming down just like in Spider-Man. But no, I will say before you go, the only piece I'll add to the aesthetic is I want to be as cool as Lawrence Fishburne in the Matrix and wear those cool little pinchy sunglasses. Just go over the nose and have
that's all you think.
I'm telling you, man, if I can die, I will die happy knowing that I was once cool. If I ever could look so cool in my life to wear that trench coat and those pinchy glasses with
I'm telling you, man, you can do it. I just have a little bad news for you.
What's that?
You probably don't want to hear, but
what's that?
Death becomes us all. You're gonna have to shave. I mean,
okay, all right.
You can do it. You're just gonna have to commit to it. You can't show up looking like Chewbacca and trying to be.
People who can't see us and only know us through the audio medium, I have a beard, but the only problem is when I shave, I don't look like Lawrence. I don't look like Lawrence Fishburne. I look like a child. Is the thing, right? As soon as I shave, people are like coming to me like, "I'm sorry, son. Are you lost? Can we help you find your mommy?" Like it is. It's not in a good way too. Like I actually have gray in the beard. And
you're firmly in your 40s. No one's thinking you're a kid.
Without a doubt. But no, I'm telling you,
I love you, man. But let's calm down.
It is a little ridiculous. But with that, all right, the steel cage match the steel cage has come down. It's been dropped. We're gonna, 2 men enter, 1 man leave, or 3 men enter in this case. Let's hear it from you. 3 of clubs. Let's give you your 10 minutes of fame here.
No one's coming out of this. All right, so I'm gonna approach this in sort of 3 different segments, or do my best to try to keep it in that sort of categorization. So first, we approach these things oddly enough in the sort of reflective assumption. And I'm not necessarily taking shots, but I'm just pointing out, and multiple times we've talked about what it feels like to be at our deathbed, yet none of us has actually been at our deathbeds. We don't really know what the thoughts are. And also, we're assuming everyone's going to be looking at it the same way we do, but I'm willing to bet if we talk to multiple people who have witnessed loved ones die, they would probably have a different opinion than what Greg has reflected. Also, we talk about what the apocalypse is going to look like. And I'm going to have to say, unless any of us have actually been to the apocalypse, we don't really know what it looks like, which kind of brings me to an understanding of how we always view things, brings me always back to the ninja. I know, sounds weird. Follow me here. I've talked about this before, and it's very true when you break down a lot of different things and how we look at a lot of different things, which is the only reason why we think ninjas the way we think of ninjas is because one person at one time while making a movie couldn't figure out how to actually reflect this character or the character that was in the story who was supposed to be able to infiltrate left and right, that was coming from a different culture that they didn't even bother to actually research because beneath them. So there's like, fuck it, we're just gonna go with what we think it's gonna be. And they created the image of what the ninja was, which is what we all still think of, and it's predominated even to the point where it's gone back to the original culture. And some people are even confused within that culture. It's that prevailing of what happened. So when we think about the apocalypse, frankly, what we're actually thinking about is just what a couple of people were trying to figure out what the story was going to look like. That's it. It's the same thing what I was just talking about with like what we're selling versus what we're establishing as a world. It's just that. They're just establishing what the image of the story is going to be. They're taking a guess. No one's actually been to the apocalypse. There's no effing way that I love how I just said effing, like I haven't been dropping fuck bombs left and right. Like nice censoring. But anyway.